All right, we are back with another pick'em video. It is Thursday, November 20th in the NBA. We got a small 4-game slate, but I'm locked into the slate, locked into the picks I've got for you guys today, and we're gonna have a winning day today. The last 3 days have sucked. We're gonna go over the recap like we always do of yesterday's video picks, but we're gonna get back on track. We've been, knocked down before, and we do get right back up, and we've been on some crazy runs already this season, especially at the beginning of the season. We started very hot. Injuries are starting to pile up. I saw something on Instagram the other day. Literally yesterday, there's like 22 stars that are not playing right now. And that's obviously making it a little bit harder to predict things because stars kind of run the league. In basketball, if you have a big star, they can carry you a long way, and they change the trajectory of the entire team, how they play, all those different things, defensive schemes. So it's been a little bit difficult the past 3 days, but again, we're going to make excuses every single time we lose. It's what we do over here. You got to. If you make your picks public, you're going to be getting good at making excuses. But at the same time, we own our losses. Let's hop into the recap and get into the picks for the day. So hopping into the recap of yesterday's video picks, I know very, very red day. Probably, I think this might be the worst day we've had this year. Minus 2.95 units. We do get a win with Malik Monk. He had 16 points. But let's talk about the losses. Nipple, honestly, and Tyrese Maxey, two guys that I love watching play. I hate betting their unders, but I did see the value there. Nipple, 28 points in that game, shot 55%. This guy continues to get the volume, continues to shoot a ridiculous percentage, and he's shooting a lot of threes. Shot 12 threes in that game and knocked down 5 of them. So he is looking great. I don't know how Cooper Flagg is still the favorite to win Rookie of the Year at this point. Obviously, it looks like Cooper Flagg has a higher ceiling and everything, but Nipple been very consistent. And 17.5 for a rookie with LaMelo back, it seems like a high line in a tough matchup. He continues to get it done. Tyrese Maxey had 3 3-pointers in the first quarter, so I knew that was cooked very early. He ended with 5, only shot 9, so it's not like he shot 13, 14. That's kind of the read, the attempts on these lines. And I would have been very happy if he shot 8, and he shot 5 of 8 from 3 or whatever. But I'd be like, okay, I like the read. It was okay. 9, you're getting a little wishy-washy. Maxey came out shooting early, and he was hitting them early, and that always means if you hit your first 2 threes, all right, got to jack up a few more. Could have gone very differently if he missed his first 2 threes, I think. Brandon Williams gets 2 fouls in the first 2 minutes of the game. He sits and plays, I think, 6 minutes in the first half. That line was cooked right when he got the 2 fouls, had 0 points. You know that's going to be a difficult line to get. He ends with like 9, also complete BS call at the end of the Knicks game there. Go look it up. Brandon Williams, nice lay. Did hook the guy a little bit, but I can't believe they called that for the Mavericks to lose that game. Go look that one up, Brandon Williams. 2 quick fouls. That's going to hurt you. And then Norman Powell under his threes. He didn't shoot very many, but he shot 4 of 6 or something, 4 of 7 from 3. So he knocked him down too. So again, we're going to come on here. We're going to show our losses. You do got to go, why these lose. Sometimes they're bad reads. Sometimes, things didn't roll your way, like the Brandon Williams ones, 2 quick fouls. But again, at the same time, we're always going to come right back up with the exact same method. I've been doing this too long to get, very discouraged from a bad day. So let's hop into the Props Madness tool and let's start making some plays for today and get some winners. And then grasping at any sort of positive here. I know it's not video picks, but if you want access to all of my plays, we do a lot of PrizePicks, Underdog, Dabble, Sleeper, a lot of DFS platforms, attacking like plus 500 parlays. We're crazy right now, plus 90 units in November, winning more days than we're losing. You can get access to all my plays, link in the description down below. It is a Discord link for 50% off your first month. And by the way, that's not $200 a month. It's $10 a month for your first month. So check it out, link in the description. Very fun community aspect as well. So now let's start talking about some plays, jumping into Props Madness like we always do. Props Madness is awesome. You're gonna see how powerful the tool is throughout this video and throughout the entire season. One of the cheapest things in the industry too. Link in the description down below. But let's check out Zach LaVine first. We're gonna take him to knock down some threes, plus 100. I know the graph doesn't look amazing, but neither do the Kings. The crazy part is Zach LaVine has played, 13 games so far this year. They've either lost or won the game by 2 points. They won this one game by 2 points. That was the Milwaukee Bucks. They have won one game by 1 point. That's it. They've literally lost games by getting destroyed or literally won by 1 or 2 points, and that's why this graph looks so bad. Now, they're going up against the Grizzlies today. It's a 2.5-point spread. They're still underdogs, which is crazy to me just because the talent-wise, the name brand-wise of Zach LaVine, DeRozan, Westbrook, hopefully Sabonis plays today. Other guys, Malik Monk, all those guys are, not household names, but for NBA fans, you know them. Then the Grizzlies are running out, they don't even have Ja Morant. You can look at the injury report. They got a bunch of, Vince Williams, Jalen Wells, Cedric Coward, Santi Aldama, Zach Edey. I don't know if, a casual NBA fan would know half of these guys. So it's kind of funny how bad the Kings have been is what I'm really trying to get at. But we got another, weaker team here with the Grizzlies. And I pretty much just want to look at games that they haven't lost by 10 points. This is games they've lost by 10 to 31 points this season, only over in 2 of 7 in the games. Again, we're looking at the over 2.5 threes at plus 100. If they can stay within 10 points, he's over this in 4 of 6 games. So obviously much better hit rate here. And again, the games he's missing against the Nuggets, against the Suns, he's got a really favorable matchup here to make some threes as well. So if they can stay within, losing by 10 points or something, that's a good sign. But at the same time, 3 points allowed, 27th ranked to position. We've seen, a decent amount of guards go over the 3-point lines as well. Shooting guards specifically, I would say. And then dominant scoring zone above the break threes, they're 23rd there. So most of his 3-pointers are coming from above the break, a couple in the corner. They're also weak there. So I think it's a great matchup for Zach LaVine. Hopefully the Kings can actually just maybe stay in a game for once. And we see this, line come hopefully early. He's knocked down 2 threes in the beginning of the season, he's knocked down 2 threes in the first half of many of these games. I can't show it on this graph right now, but like 90% or 85% of the games, he has 2 threes in the first half, and then they get trounced. Obviously the morale's low, but he loses some minutes in those situations too. So this one should be a close one. Plus 100 is a great value on this play, and hopefully he can knock him down. And if it's early, that's just icing on the cake. So Zach LaVine coming here and knock down some threes. Hopefully some bonus plays just makes it a little bit more competitive. He's also a very good passer. And that's what I'm rocking him for the first play of the video. Now moving into our second official video pick, I'm curious what you guys say in the comments down below. Are you going to take this one? Because I am. Plus 113 on the under, 3.5 assists for Devin Vassell. I had a video out with him just the other day taking the under, and he ended up getting 5 assists in that game. Now, and he also had 10 potentials. Now, it was a very good matchup for assists. Grizzlies give up like practically the most assists per game to teams. You can actually see opponent assists allowed, they rank 24th there. Now they're going up a more difficult matchup here against the Hawks. Vassell also shot horribly in that game, only shot like 11 times. De'Aaron Fox got things going, and there's a ton of injuries going on. We mentioned that. Wembanyama, 2 games without Wembanyama, he's been over in both these games. I think people are going to flock to the over. 7 potential assists in this game, he converted all of them, and then 10. I will say the 10 doesn't scare me, but it is interesting to see that because I don't think he's a passer, especially with De'Aaron Fox in this lineup. Fox can score, but Devin Vassell, again, is the main scorer. He's not a facilitator, or at least he hasn't been for his entire career. So let's take a look at the injuries because, again, that's what we're going to be looking at here. No Wembanyama, no Dylan Harper, no Stephen Castle. The usage is going to be up. He's going to get more assists. That's the thought. But again, difficult matchup to get some assists overall, or at least not a good matchup like it was against the Grizzlies. And we looked at this last video. I won't pull it up right now, but I pulled it up last time. His number 1 assist targets are Wembanyama and Stephon Castle. So the guys he's getting right at the rim, you can see 44% of his assists come right at the rim. He doesn't have those 2 guys. Dating back to last year, where Vassell was getting 34, 35 minutes in most of these games anyway, so you don't have to deal with the minutes or anything like that. You can look at the entire year, and he only went over this line in 28% of games. Take Wembanyama out, the guy you can just throw a lob to. I can get an assist to Wembanyama. 17% of games he's going over this line. So without Wemby last year, again, you can look at the minutes, still very high, average 31.6 minutes per game. Very high, and he's still not going over this. I just don't think he's a passer. I think this line is inflated because of the last 2 performances. I really think it's inflated because this 7 assists on 7 potentials. I think that's a fluke. In the 10 potentials, again, that's the only thing in the back of my mind that's like, am I missing something? Is he like somehow now a distributor with Fox? But no, Fox is going to be the main guy with the ball. He can score too. But again, Vassell just so bad at scoring last game. I think he started passing the rock a little bit. Again, shot 3 of 11 or something from that game. So I think he's not a passer. I just don't think. Again, let me know in the comments if you think I'm a crazy man. But plus 113 value on the under assist that this guy just does not pass the ball. No Wembanyama, no Castle. It's number 1 and number 2 targets in a more difficult matchup against the Hawks, who have been great without Trae Young. I'm liking this play. Plus 113. Let's attack it. DraftKings under 3.5 for Vassell. Moving into another play that's more of a lean here, so not a full video pick. Again, wait for the recap for me to actually let you know what I'm going to here. But 17.5 points for Embiid. He's a game time decision, so not going to spend too much time on this. He might not even play. He's returning soon, and he's dealing with a knee injury that might be more mental than anything else. There's no structural damage to it. He's probably a little bit scared. He's been dealing with injuries the past few years. But Embiid against the Giannis-less Bucks, who already give up a ton of points in the paint and give up free throws and pick and roll big man, and Sengun's a bonus have crushed these guys. So even if Joel Embiid comes in and plays 20 minutes, I think 17.5 is just a little bit too low. But again, he might not even play. So I'll leave it there. 17.5 for minus 115 for Joel Embiid. Definitely a solid look if he ends up playing. And then another lean here, but James Harden has been coming off some great scoring games, and now he's going up against the Magic, who are, they look like a great scoring game for him, isolation, pick and roll, ball handling, and things like that. But the game plan might be to slow down James Harden because, they got guys out. No Kawhi Leonard, no Derrick Jones Jr., Bradley Beal done for the year, I believe. So he might have to pass the ball a little bit more. Now, he can get 10 assists on any given night. It's a difficult matchup for assists, but again, if the Magic go in there and say, hey, we're going to slow down James Harden and make other people beat us, then maybe James Harden starts diamonding up a little bit. His assist line is at 8.5. But if he can get 10 assists, that'd be great. And then it comes down to the rebounds. He's had a couple double-digit rebounds so far this year. He's also coming off, he's been rebounding the ball extremely well, probably without Kawhi Leonard in the lineup, averaging 7.3 boards. So triple-double plus 1,000. Maybe a little bit of a sprinkle there. Kind of a fun one to root for too. Or if you want to, an easier play, maybe go to a guy like Bogdanovich, thinking that along the same lines as, hey, is James Harden going to be the focal point of the defense here? Who's going to be open? Guys like Bogdanovich, maybe to knock down some threes at minus 142, not horrible value there for Bogdanovich if he's going to get the time in the court. Again, looks like a bad matchup here, but I could see the Magic coming in and say, hey, we're going to stop James Harden. We need to get a win here and let the other guys beat us. And then actually looking farther into this Bogdanovich play, I think this is going to end up being a play of some sort. I know the 1.5 is juiced minus 142. We don't typically go to those lines, but I think I'm going to throw something at that, and then I think I'm going to go to the 2.5. Here's games Bogdanovich is seeing 24 to 34 minutes with James Harden. He's had some 4 3-point games against difficult matchups. I know this is a very difficult matchup, first in terms of allowed 3-pointers, fifth in terms of other break threes, but they're also weak to the pick and roll ball handling. I think they might notice that and be like, hey, we need to switch up our game plan so that James Harden doesn't, go crazy on us. And I think that's going to open up stuff for Bogdanovich. So I like him because he's going to see minutes. There's not a lot of players playing in terms of, there's injuries. Kawhi Leonard, Derrick Jones Jr., Bradley Beal. He's going to get 24 to 34, 35 minutes in this one. So that's the the minutes restriction here. 66% of games he's over the 1.5. And I think there's potential for him to go, over even in a difficult matchup. You can see again against the Rockets, was able to get there. That was last year, but they were second. They don't allow a whole bunch of threes. And at the same time, he's had some bad matchups against difficult ones. Fifth ranked here for the Knicks, had 0, shot 0 of 4. So I think there's an avenue for him to get to 3 threes for sure. I'll probably sprinkle something on that. But the 1.5 for anyone that wants to throw it in a parlay, I think that's a really good spot at minus 142. And then on the other side of the ball, if we're going to go to, a Zach LaVine over, maybe hopefully this game stays close, there's probably an angle on a Grizzly because a lot of guys are going to get better opportunities today because of all the injuries they're dealing with. But it's going to be who's playing well. And again, a lot of these guys are projected for right around the same amount of minutes. So like Cedric Coward, Santi Aldama, I've looked at Jalen Wells. I've looked at Vince Williams. Pretty much all these starters, I like their lines because everyone's going to have a great matchup against the Sacramento Kings defense that doesn't play defense. You can see Cedric Coward's little column right here. Everything almost dark green. Defensive player or defensive ranking to the dominant player type, the dominant scoring zone, defensive rating, points in the paint allowed. All these different things are going to be a good matchup for people to score. So a guy like Cedric Coward, I think you can find this minus 105 on DraftKings. These aren't a full official video picks until I get to the recap. But I was definitely looking at Coward. I was definitely looking at Jalen Wells as well. Again, none of these guys' hit rates are going to look great because they're in a much better situation in terms of minutes played today, and they have a great matchup to score the ball. So this is another guy I was looking at. If you want to look at games, you've seen 24 plus minutes, only 27% of games, 10 points per game. He's got an 11.5 line too at minus 105, so he's got some pretty good value there. Dating back to last year in this much time, he was able to go over a whole bunch. I know he's a better scorer than what he's shown this year. And again, the games he's missing, like 2 of 10 shooting, 2 of 7, 3 of 11 shooting. So if you could put the ball in the basket, I do like Jalen Wells a lot here. Another guy, Vince Williams, is going to be probably the most consistent guy this year without John Morant in the lineup. He's got 14, 12, and 14 points. Again, textbook matchup for him to score. So I think there's a lot of different avenues. I would definitely take a look at the Grizzlies players today because there's going to be someone with a great matchup that crushes their lines. It's just going to be, who is that guy going to be? So in the recap, I'll maybe sprinkle a 0.5 unit play on one of these guys, maybe 2 of them, but we'll see that. Just want to point out some guys. Santi Aldama, another guy in a great spot. The Kings just suck on defense, so there's going to be guys with good matchups and good scoring capabilities today. So hopping into the recap here, it looks like 5 plays, but it's really just 3 plays. Zach LaVine over his threes, loving that one. Devin Vassell, we talked about his under. I know it doesn't look amazing, but it's plus 113 for a reason. And I don't think he's that kind of passer, which we saw the past 2 games. I think Fox is going to be the main distributor, and he might be the main scorer too. He's the best guy out there. Vassell maybe knock down some shots and stop passing the ball. Bogdanovich over his threes at 1.5. That's a minus 142. We don't typically take that juice. It's a 0.75 unit play, but we also took the 2.5, 215 on FanDuel for a quarter unit play. Then we got James Harden, a little sprinkle on his plus 1,000 triple-double. It looks like a tough matchup for both those guys. But again, I think sometimes you can find value in thinking they have a great matchup. you know, if people are hammering the over and whatever it might be, and the Magic come out there and play a different defensive scheme because they know James Harden's their biggest threat and they want to slow him down. He's been scoring like crazy. He's had like 40-point game, 30-point game, and then a high 20-point game. So he's been scoring well. Maybe they want to slow him down, which is why I want to sprinkle on him distributing, maybe grabbing some boards today, which is obviously a plus 1,000 for a reason. So that will do it for me. We also talked about a bunch of Grizzlies players. I'd probably lean Santi Aldama now that I talk about it. I do like Jalen Wells. I think he's a better scorer. Cedric Coward, Vince Williams. There's a bunch of angles on a lot of guys because they're going up against the Kings, who are a bad defense overall. So I think there's going to be some value there. If you guys get this to 100 likes, I'll go ahead and put my play in that I ended up going to, because I'll go to one of those guys for sure today. I'm just not exactly sure which one just yet. So that'll do it for me. Again, if you want access to all my plays, check out the Discord community in the link down below. It is my Discord community. I'm giving it away for $10 a month right now for the first month. So definitely check us out. Check out Props Madness. That was a tool I was using all throughout the video. Very, very fun to use. Very, very detailed and advanced filters and things like that. And one of the cheapest things out there. 25% off your first month for that. And then check out PrizePicks. I guess we'll shout out PrizePicks today because we haven't shouted out PrizePicks in a while. And we've been pretty good on PrizePicks recently. These were all from last night. We did hit a 6x. We did hit a double up because Sar didn't play. And we almost hit this one. Monk grabbed an extra rebound late in that game. And Gobert couldn't dunk on the Wizards one more time. But I assume a lot of you guys are on PrizePicks. But if you're not, definitely check them out. They got fun lines. Code RichPicks, link in the description down below. Play 5, get $50 loaded into your account. Again, dunk lines, first half PRA lines, different angles. And they're a lot of fun to go to sometimes. So definitely check out PrizePicks if you haven't already. But I'll do it. Again, bambling at this point. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like it, subscribe, comment, all those different things. This will turn around. I know it's been 3 bad days in a row. But we've been on crazier runs the opposite way. We're doing pretty good. So we'll get back on track. Hopefully that starts today. And it's a smaller slate, really locked into the plays we talked about. And hopefully got you guys some winners. So I'll see you guys tomorrow to do recap and video picks for tomorrow. Peace out.